And the writer, Randy Miller, who does a nice job with this article, said that Aaron Judge, after the last game of the season, answered questions for 11 minutes. When the questions were cut off by the media relations guy, Judge left the area in the middle of the clubhouse, started towards his locker. And he was stopped by a beat reporter. A few words were said. They shook hands. Then another reporter approached. Then another, then another, then another. Next thing you know, this went on past 1:10 in the morning, 1:20, 1:25, while other teammates were doing their media. At one point, according to the article, a half a dozen writers waited in line to have a one-on-one quickly with Judge, which is not usual. One reporter said it's Aaron Judge's reception line. At one point, according to the report, Judge said to a reporter, "I'll see you somewhere down the road." And NJ.com says perhaps that will be opening day 2023 at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah. Against
San Francisco
Giants.
Yeah. This is, I maintain, I will stick with, I just can't see the New York Yankees letting Aaron Judge walk. If this was the Royals, if this was the Rangers, even if this was the Marlins, he's gone. It's the Yankees.
Yeah.
I can't see it.
I'm trying to, can we start with the Giants side of things? Because we talked about this a little bit earlier. Totally understand why they would want Aaron Judge. When you hear words about phrasing, they will not be outbid.
Yeah.
Boy, that sounds like, hey, we're going to do whatever. Like, this is our guy. We're desperate. We're going to get him
right
at whatever cost. Well, it's going to be a huge financial asking price.
Yeah.
I don't know if it makes sense for the Giants. Of course you want talent like that. But what you had said earlier, if the pot is, we'll just throw a number, $300 million.
Sure.
I don't even know if that's accurate.
Sure.
What else can you get for $300 million when you're a team that scuffled for $500 this year? Right. When you were great a year ago,
yeah.
That feels like the outlier at the moment, as opposed to this year being the outlier. You need more help than Aaron Judge.
Yes.
You'd take Aaron Judge.
Of course.
So for their side of things, I get it, but I also feel like, are you still the third best team in your own? You're behind the Dodgers if you get Aaron Judge. You're behind probably the Padres if you get Aaron Judge. Still might be behind the Mets, Braves, Phillies are in the World Series.
Yes.
Then Aaron Judge's side of things, okay, you're going to get paid, whether it's the Cubs, Dodgers, Giants, Yankees, whoever you want to go to. What's best for him? I get the Northern California connection.
Yeah.
If Aaron Judge had the same year he just had in San Francisco, it's not played bigger than it was in New York.
Not.
He's not even breaking the team record.
No, and it's not played bigger anywhere. It's not played bigger in L.A.
Right.
There is no state.
Now would he maybe he likes that.
And that's the thing. Maybe one of the points they made in here, Jason, that you bring up that rang in my head a little bit extra was he might just want out of the Yankee fishbowl.
Mm-hmm.
He might just want to spend the next half of his career not in toiling in obscurity,
right? Which he wouldn't with the Giants.
There's no fishbowl like New York.
Right,
there's
correct.
No San Francisco media, for example.
Yeah.
But L.A. media is nothing compared to New York or Philly media.
Yeah, and while he was chasing down let's remember what the record was the American League record.
Right.
Now we can argue the merits of whether or not the other guys, performance enhancing, so on and so forth. But he basically broke a Yankee record, an American League record, and it was really followed and chronicled. But if he had 62 home runs with the Giants, it would be equally amazing. But he would be 11 behind Barry Bonds,
right? Yeah, and if that's important to him, he's never going to be. Listen, no matter where he goes, Aaron Judge on his Hall of Fame plaque, he's almost certainly going to be a Yankee. This is just he's at the I wouldn't say at the cherry part of his career on the sundae, but I'd say he's on the nuts, whipped cream, and cherry, and maybe caramel sauce.
Yeah.
Like the ice cream is his career with the Yankees. He's not old, but he is well into his prime.
Yeah.
30?
I think he's 30. Yeah.
30, so going to be 31 at some point next season.
But if we take the other franchise-esque long-term contract guys, that some are in big Trout, Pujols was, Betts, Bryce Harper.
Yeah.
All great players.
Yes.
They're not in New York.
No.
It's not the same kind of attention. Again, maybe he doesn't want that, but
I don't think he does.
Okay.
He doesn't seem like that. Like, and whether it's you want it or you certainly can handle it, like Derek Jeter was made for New York.
Yeah.
He was made for the Yankees. He was all over that. You've had folks many times throughout the years with the Yankees understand, hey, I'm wearing the pinstripes. I'm wearing the same uniform that Don Mattingly and Mickey Mantle and Whitey Ford and Joe DiMaggio and Babe Ruth wore. This is beyond. This is legendary. This is legacy. I don't know that Aaron Judge necessarily brings or cares about that as much.
Yeah, he's got to know he's going to get the money of choice.
Right.
So what are the other factors? Yankees have been in the playoffs every year. The Giants have not.
Correct.
Though the Giants have won more World Series since 2010 than the Yankees haven't won one since then.
Aaron Judge hasn't won one.
No.
And that might be an important thing.
But I feel like the Yankees are a lot closer than the Giants.
I completely agree with you.
Now that could change over time.
Sure.
But does he want to be at home? Does he want to be in California? There's good for that. There's bad with that. Right. I don't know what his factors are, because the money, he's going to get a ton of it from whoever wants him.
The problem there too, Jason, and I'm speaking as a Giants fan now, I will reiterate, would I like to have Aaron Judge on the team? 1,000,000,000%. I think he'd look amazing in orange and black, and I think he'd represent the club well, and I think he'd be a welcome power hitter in the middle of the lineup. But it's not, do you just, if Aaron Judge wants to sign for $20 million a year for 3 years, I'm all over it. That's not the case. Aaron Judge is going to want to sign for, again, I think the starting point is what, 350, 300, somewhere in there. Yeah, it's going to be insane.
Yeah.
So it's not a question of, do you want Aaron Judge? It's a question of, as a Giants fan, do you want Aaron Judge for that type of money? Now, Aaron Judge is not, roids or not, Aaron Judge is not the player Barry Bonds was. And the last time the Giants went out and took a massive swing, it was Barry Bonds. That was the Aaron Judge back then, but there was much more to him. And you know what? Again, the San Francisco Giants have experienced championship success 3 times, but with one stretch of teams. And you know what? That wasn't the team with Barry Bonds.
Right.
That was the team led by Buster Posey and Brandon Crawford and Pablo Sandoval and Brandon Belt.
Yeah, Lincecum, Mad Bum, Kane. Yeah.
Right. And you know what? They all were homegrown.
Yes.
That doesn't mean they didn't have accoutrements around them.
Right.
That doesn't mean that we haven't done a Chris Bryant thing before and blah, 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 blah. That was the core. They tried the Barry Bonds thing, and that's not what it was. They went ahead and got, arguably, I think, I've always thought this, take any of the Giants World Series teams and you put them against the 2002 Giants with Bonds and Kent and Russ Ortiz. Dude, in my mind, that 0-2 team is better on paper. It's a better team, but it's not.
Right.
Because
no ring.
Right. Because in baseball, there are the Guardians in the world in the playoffs. There are the Tampa Bay Rays who have a ton of talent, but still are not. You can't just, as the Mets saw, as the Dodgers see all the time, you can't just buy your way into it. So I would rather them build with, I would rather get 3 A- $100 million deals than 1 $300 million deal, because they need that kind of help.
Yeah.
So,
well, and it's interesting too to see where, when they made the swing, you talked about the big swing for Bonds. I think it made a lot of sense a couple years ago when they made the big swing for Bryce Harper, where he was an age. Now they didn't land him, but they were all in on him.
Sense.
And I go, okay, that you're going to have him for 10, 15 years.
Yes.
They didn't get him. Judge is in a different spot.
If this was Mookie Betts, guy like that, all over it.
Yeah.
We'll take a break.